Today we're going to be making sweet potato gnocchi with a garlicky sage sauce, and I'm using a recipe from the Banana Diaries. I will link the recipe and hopefully link an Instagram of theirs so you can make this recipe if you want to as well. There is going to be no egg in the base, and I'm using cassava flour instead of all-purpose flour or wheat flour, so if that is of interest. And I'm also going to be talking about some home cooking tips on how to make it easier, more affordable, and just a good time. So, earlier I baked these sweet potatoes at 450 for I think 90 minutes total, and we're gonna mash them up. Some things that I think are really important to keep in stock in your kitchen, as far as produce goes, is probably having garlic and fresh onion. Onions keep for months on your counter, so you don't have to worry about not using it within the week that you buy it. Fresh green onion that's ready to chop up and sprinkle fresh on top of a finished dish. Mushrooms paired with some sort of greens like spinach or kale. Butternut squash, which is on the sweeter side, or zucchini squash, that goes great with mushrooms and greens. Or having potatoes, because those keep for a little bit on your counter. Stuff that you don't have to think about cooking are always great to have as a backup when you're tired and you just know a go-to recipe of some sauteed veggies and meat if you do meat, or throw it on some quinoa. Quinoa is a complete protein, so I love keeping that in the cupboard. If I do have a little bit of a plan ready, I like to soak it from the morning time to whenever we cook it at night. If you have trouble digesting grains, then soak them beforehand, buy them sprouted, sprout them yourself. And moving to the pantry, we like to keep some sort of already pre-made pasta sauce and some cauliflower noodles. I always keep a vegetable stock or broth in the cabinet, a bunch of carrots or a bunch of celery, a red bell pepper. Quick snacks just to have in the fridge that you can either cook up and make warm in a meal, or you can just eat them fresh. I just measured out 2 cups of the mashed sweet potato, and now we are going to add 1 1/4 cup of cassava flour. Use 1/8 of a cup olive oil and 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Now I'm going to knead this until it forms a dough. If you're shopping on a budget, it's really important to make a list and have a plan of things that you want to buy. Try and only shop 2-3 times a week, because this makes you more purposeful and mindful about what you're getting. It's cheaper to shop for produce that is in season and local. I really love going to places like Natural Grocers and the Co-op because their whole selection of produce is usually organic. There is produce that is more necessary to buy organic than others. I will flash that on the screen. Buy food that's in bulk, that helps to save money, and it's good to check the unit prices between different stores and between like packaged products and bulk items. If you're a Costco shopper, you're probably really familiar with frozen bagged huge bags of fruit and vegetables. It still has the same amount of nutrients, so it's definitely worth looking into that if that's something that you can afford and store in your home. I would definitely recommend that. And I wanted to give a quick mention to the Riverside Farmers Market MarketBox that I get every Saturday. They give you a little paper of where each item is from, and they even give you some recipe ideas. A lot of the produce that I've gotten from there, I have no idea what it is or how to cook it, so it's been really cool to figure out different recipes and find out about different produce that I never even have heard of. So if you would like to get a MarketBox or even donate one to a family in need, I will link it down below. And let me know if you do it and how you feel about it, because I think it's so fun and special that Reno has that, and I hope that other people feel the same way. Now that we have this beautiful little dough ball, slice the dough into quarters. I don't have a rolling pin, but I have this. We make do. So I'm rolling it about 1 inch thick, and now I'm going to cut them into inch sections. tucking the edges so that they're more rounded. This is going to take me a while, so I will be back. Something else that's really cool about learning how to cook for yourself at home is that it activates the intuitive side of your brain as well as the logical side, because you need to know, as far as baking, like what measurements to use. The logical, yes, I understand steps and instructions. And on the other hand, your intuitive side, the quantity of spices used and what tastes good, what doesn't taste good. You'll start to become more in tune with what your body wants to eat and what feels good in it. And you'll know exactly what's going into your food when you cook at home, the ingredients, the process that things are being cooked, how clean the food is, like as far as it being dirty, and just where the products are sourced from. You have complete control over your food being cooked with love and intention and gratitude, and you can really taste the difference when food is being cooked from the heart. And I know that it can be really overwhelming, and we all don't have time to cook and sit here and make these pieces for half an hour. I've gotten to the habit of making cooking and baking a form of self-care for me. I will put on music. I bought myself this apron that I wear, and that makes me happy. I'm going to clean this off, and then I'm going to chop up some garlic and sage for the sauce, and then we will get to cooking.